Hello, this is Uncle Milo. Welcome to Uncle Milo's Story Corner. This episode is going to be how the leopard got his spots. This is going to be part one of two. This is from Rudyard Kipling's Just So Stories. In the days when everybody started fair, best beloved, the leopard lived in a place called the High Veld. Remember, it wasn't the Low Veld, or the Bush Veld, or the Sour Veld, but the exclusively bare, hot, shiny High Veld, where there was sand and sandy-colored rock, exclusively tufts of sandy yellowish grass. The giraffe and the zebra and the eland and the kudu and the hartebeest lived there, and they were exclusively sandy, yellow-brownish all over. But the leopard, he was the exclusivest, sandiest, yellowish, brownest of them all, a grayish, yellowish, caddy-shaped kind of beast, and he matched the exclusively yellowish, grayish-brownish color of the high veld to one hair. This was very bad for the giraffe and the zebra and the rest of them, for he could lie down by a exclusively yellowish, grayish, brownish stone or clump of grass, and when the giraffe or the zebra or the eland or the kudu or the bushbuck or the bonty-buck came by, he would surprise them out of their jumpsome lives. He would indeed. And also, there was an Ethiopian with bows and arrows, exclusively grayish, brownish, yellowish man he was then, who lived on the high veld with the leopard, and the two used to hunt together. The Ethiopian with his bows and arrows, and the leopard exclusively with his teeth and claws, till the giraffe and the eland and the kudu and the quagga and all the rest of them didn't know which way to jump, best beloved. They didn't indeed. After a long time, things lived for ever so long in those days, they learned to avoid anything that looked like a leopard or an Ethiopian, and bit by bit the giraffe began it because his legs were the longest. They went away from the high veld. They scuttled for days and days and days till they came to a great forest, exclusively full of trees and bushes and stripy, speckly, patchy, blotchy shadows. And there they hid. And after another long time, what with standing half in the shade and half out of it, and what with the slippery, slidey shadows of the trees falling on them, the giraffe grew blotchy, and the zebra grew stripy, and the eland and the kudu grew darker, with little wavy gray lines on their backs like bark on a tree trunk. And so, though you could hear them and smell them, you could very seldom see them, and then only when you knew precisely where to look. They had a beautiful time in the exclusively speckly, spickly shadows of the forest, while the leopard and the Ethiopian ran about over the exclusively grayish, yellowish, reddish high veld outside, wondering where all their breakfasts and their dinners and their teas had gone. At last they were so hungry that they ate rats and beetles and rock rabbits, the leopard and the Ethiopian, and then they had the big tummy ache, both together. And then they met Bavian, the dog-headed, barking baboon, who was quite the wisest animal in all South Africa. Said Leopard to Bavian, and it was a very hot day, "Where has all the game gone?" And Bavian winked. He knew. Said the Ethiopian to Bavian, "Can you tell me the present habitat of the aboriginal fauna?" That meant just the same thing, but the Ethiopian always used long words. He was grown-up. And Bavian winked. He knew. Then said Bavian, "The game has gone into other spots, and my advice to you, Leopard, is to go into other spots as soon as you can." And the Ethiopian said, "That is all very fine, but I wish to know whither the aboriginal fauna has migrated." Then said Bavian, "The aboriginal fauna has joined the aboriginal flora, because it was high time for a change, and my advice to you, Ethiopian, is to change as soon as you can." That puzzled the leopard and the Ethiopian, but they set off to look for the aboriginal flora. And presently, after ever so many days, they saw a great, high, tall forest full of tree trunks, all exclusively speckled and spotted, dotted and splashed and slashed and hatched and cross-hatched with shadows. Say that quickly aloud, and you'll see how very shadowy the forest must have been. "What is this," said the leopard, "that is so exclusively dark and yet so full of little pieces of light?" "I don't know," said the Ethiopian, but it ought to be the aboriginal flora. I can smell giraffe, and I can hear giraffe, but I can't see giraffe." "That's curious," said the leopard. "I suppose it is because we have just come in out of the sunshine. I can smell zebra, and I can hear zebra, but I can't see zebra." "Wait a bit," said the Ethiopian. "It's a long time since we've hunted them. Perhaps we've forgotten what they were like." "Fiddle," said the leopard. "I remember them perfectly on the high veld, especially their marrow bones. Giraffe is about 17 feet high, of a exclusively fulvous golden yellow from head to heel, and zebra is about 4.5 feet high, of a exclusively gray fawn color from head to heel." Said the Ethiopian, looking into the spickly, speckly shadows of the aboriginal flora forest. then they ought to show up in this dark place like ripe bananas in a smokehouse. But they didn't. The leopard and the Ethiopian hunted all day, and though they could smell them and hear them, they never saw one of them. For goodness sake, said the leopard at tea time, let us wait till it gets dark. This daylight hunting is a perfect scandal. And that's the end of part 1 of How the Leopard Got His Spots. Tune in next time for the second part of How the Leopard Got His Spots. I'm Uncle Milo. Thank you for watching.